How are you all out there? Eric Bakker, thanks for coming back. I've got a question here from a person called Vola Poli. That's quite an interesting name, Vola Poli. Will CanXida Remove get rid of toenail fungus? I have used tea tree oil and all other sorts of antifungals for the last 8 months, and it just keeps getting worse. I've done bleach soaks, vinegar soaks, Listerine soaks, oil of oregano, emery oil, you name it. Man, okay. Well, Vola Poli, this is what you do. The first thing you want to probably do is cut the nail right back, all right? Cut it back as much as you can, cut right into it. So really expose the nail bed as much as you can of it. I also want you to get a little piece of emery board or something to file the top of the nail. Now the reason we're doing that is to make it more porous, to soak stuff in, all right, and soak stuff under. But you are correct, you need to take stuff internally as well as apply stuff externally. Best treatments always happen when you attack them from various angles, all right? So try and think of it this way. You're walking down the street, you know, with your partner or by alone or whatever, preferably with your partner, and then you're going to be approached by a whole bunch of different, say 3 or 4 different guys, and they're going to give you a bit of a rumble. They want your iPhone off you, okay? But now all of a sudden, there's a couple of people on the other side of the street who notice this, and they come up behind them, right? So, and now all of a sudden they're surrounded by people. They're getting attacked on different fronts. The people that are bad are actually going to get hammered, all right? So what happens is they usually can see this to be a threat. They perceive this threat coming in. And guess what happens? The crybabies run away, okay? The strong ones stay behind. But there was this film I saw once, I can't remember, Tom Cruise. I think he came out of it was one of these action kind of movies, you know? And he was, I think he was John Wick. Is it John Wick? I think that was his name. And he got approached by this really big loudmouth guy and 2 or 3 other guys. And what he did is he kicked the loudmouth guy in the groin. And when he dropped, the other guys ran away like crybabies. Now, candidas, and I find this very similar to the approach I've always maintained works well in the gut. If you take down something really big and weaken, okay, other pathogens in the gut, or overgrowths in the gut, it's like, okay, blocks come tumbling down. It makes it much easier to work on. When you've got an issue in the periphery and it's not being amended by local topical treatments, you have to tackle it from different fronts. So when I'm saying that, I'm saying you've got to tackle it: diet, lifestyle, improve your sleep, get rid of your boss, fire your boyfriend or your girlfriend if they're a pain in the butt, you know. Work on these different angles. Make the weak things strong, okay? If you can make the weakest thing strong in your life, you usually find that these kind of bugs just get weaker themselves and eventually buckle and fall. But you can't tackle things like this that are chronic on one front alone, because you'll keep doing the same thing, all right? And what's the definition of insanity? Doing the same stuff, vinegar soaks, over and over again and not getting the right outcome. It's not going to happen, all right? So, tea tree oil, yes. Use the brand called Thursday, as in the day of the week. Thursday Plantation, all right? That's the brand you want to get. Anything else is junk in my opinion. I always stick with that one particular brand. These guys were the original tea tree oil company, okay? They made the tea tree oil to begin with, and other companies followed suit, all right? But mind you, tea tree oil's been around since the 1920s, I believe. But Thursday Plantation is a company set up in Australia in the 60s. I think it might have been 1976 it was set up. And it is absolutely fantastic product. So get yourself the 25ml bottle, and then every morning, you know, you've cut the toenail back, you're going to put 1 drop on the nail bed there. You filed the nail, top of the nail back, you might put 1 drop on the nail, and then you put a sock or whatever on there. You know, and then in the evening before bed, same thing. Okay, so treat it twice per day, morning and night, relentless. The CanXida Remove, 1 tablet 3 times per day, relentless. And you do that for probably about 3 months. Now, expose the foot to sunlight, expose the feet to fresh air. Don't wear stockings all the time, don't wear socks all the time. Have bare feet, okay? Walk around like a chimpanzee, all right? So maybe your boss will allow that, depends on the body odor I suppose, but try and expose the foot as much as you can to the elements, because a yeast infection hates sun, it hates light, it loves moisture, it loves darkness, okay? This is why the private areas of the body always get hammered, because They're covered up, they're warm, they're moist, all right? And they're fed all sorts of bacteria there and all sorts of junk there, and they love those areas. So you've got to reverse that. You've got to really open things up, right? If you live near the seaside and had your foot in a bucket of water every day for 10-15 minutes, it's goodbye Candida within 3 months. It's gone, all right? Guaranteed. I've heard this from thousands of people. I know a lot of people, they've got bad fungal foot problem, and then they go on vacation for 2 or 3 weeks, you know, in an island like the Seychelles or the Maldives or the Bahamas or wherever you want to go. And they spend a lot of time in the water. And then lo and behold, all of a sudden they're sitting in their office in New York and they go, God dang, that foot's looking so much better. And that's because of the exposure to the elements. It works, all right? And the other thing I find when people are on holidays, they tend to relax more. They don't stress so much, right? All these little things work towards getting rid of that toenail fungus. But the number one thing you can do for toenail issues is to not have that foot covered all the time with socks and shoes. And this is why so many office workers get fungal problems, because they've always got their feet covered, right? Imagine if I got a big bag or a cloth and I put it over your head, all right? And then I put a big leather thing over your head there as well, and I got you to walk around for 12 hours a day with your head covered with bags and stuff like that and cloths and stuff. What do you think your face is going to look like in your ears? You're going to get massive fungal infections in your ears because there's no airflow around the head. There's no sunlight, all right? Use some common sense here, all right? And just expose that foot as much as you can. And you're saying, oh my God, I can't expose that foot. You know, I've got the foot from hell. It looks like Darth Vader's foot or something like that. Well, then paint the toenails or something, or, you know, whatever. But you can't paint the toenails, can you? Not a good idea if you've got a toenail fungus, really, to put that kind of stuff on there, acetone-based products. But tea tree oil works. But I don't think you've really looked effectively at that holistic concept we're talking about. Watch my videos on eating, you know, eating the right kind of foods for yeast infection. Follow the CanXida program, so you'll need the remove, the rebuild, and the restore. I recommend you take remove 3 times per day, restore twice per day, and rebuild once per day. That's generally sufficient. All right? You should be able to get rid of this toenail fungus within 3 to 6 months. Now, I find the best time to get rid of a toenail problem is summertime, all right? Now, if you're in the States, you'll be going into winter now, so it's making it a lot harder to get rid of, because how many people are going to walk around bare feet in winter time? Nobody, all right? So as soon as spring comes along and it warms up, kick off those socks or stockings, you know, put sandals on or something like that and expose those toes, right? So I hope that gives you a little bit of an insight into how I would, you know, work on a toenail problem. And I will repeat, I've never seen a toenail problem that can't be fully fixed. But I've seen many people with attitudes that can't be fixed that don't want to work towards that holistic approach. All right? I'll leave you with that. Click on the link below. Hopefully a nice person from my team will have put down the Candida report, my free 17-page report. That'll show you the right foods to eat with Candida and what to buy, all right? Thanks for your question, Miss or Mrs. or Poli. I think it's Vola Poli. Thank you.